The church I see is fully on mission in our city. The church I see is a church that can be a resting place for the weary and the worn out. The church I see is a church where the hurting can find healing. The church I see is a church where the thirsty can find refreshing. The church I see is a church where the lonely can find community. The church I see is bold, it's vibrant, it's creative, it's committed, it's humble, it's kind, it's confident, it's grateful, and it's graceful, and it's powerful. The church I see is a church that seeks to know God and to make Him known. A church that helps wanderers find their place, their people, and their purpose. A church that says we won't stop until Boise looks like heaven. We launched on February 19th of 2023 with 842 people in attendance that day. And why that number matters is because every one of those people that came represents a soul, represents someone that Jesus died for. And 91 people on opening day of Oasis City made a decision to follow Jesus. And that to me was just like the epitome of just like the perfect, it was just such a great day.
On launch Sunday, we were at the Welcome Center, and I just remember how many new faces there were. We were collecting Connect cards from new guests, and it was just overwhelming, mostly in a good way. Just how many people's hands that we shook, how many names that we learned. And I just remember it was a firsthand experience of how when Jesus saw the crowds, He said, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray earnestly to the God of the harvest that He would send laborers into the harvest."
And yeah, we were looking for a church that would be what this became, we ended up finding here. But it was something that was Spirit-led, but that wasn't so out there and uncomfortable, but was truly Spirit-led, with teaching that challenges you every week, and to be able to deepen your walk with Jesus. And so we were looking for something that we could serve in, not necessarily just to get all of that. We were looking for something solid like that so that we could serve.
I think it's been super cool to see all of the people that have gotten saved from February 2023 to now February of 2024. And I don't know. I cry every single baptism. I feel like I just bawl the whole time because it's so cool to see.
We just decided to give it a try, and I'm so glad that we did, because it's been an amazing experience, and finding community and some really sweet friendships have been formed. Some of my favorite memories so far have been my husband getting baptized. That was a huge step. And my son Brooks got dedicated, and it just felt like the perfect place to do that and the perfect people to have by your side through those really substantial moments. So I'm really glad that we found Oasis City when we did.
We're a baby church, but so much has been accomplished in a year. I couldn't even say, one service, because I come here all the time and I think, how do you top that? How do you top that service? And because Mike keeps reiterating that the Spirit of God moves here, and it moves amongst all the believers that are participating in the movement of church here and coming together.
It's just the presence of the Holy Spirit. You can't walk into this place and not know that God isn't moving.
This church and the leadership in this church, we're going to be people that could really kind of launch a revival in this city and in the valley. And I think we've really started to experience some of that, just the Lord just working in miraculous and powerful ways in our midst on Sundays and even outside of Sundays on different events and things like that. And I think, like Jenna was saying, I think it's so exciting to know that we have this foundation built now.
Yeah, really from the beginning, it's just been a God dream. God's done exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask, think, or imagine, and we're just privileged to be a little part of what He's doing in the Treasure Valley, what He's doing in the lives of all of the people here, and we just can't wait to see what He's going to do next.
And God began to unfold for me the vision that we would carry in this house. And I felt the Lord specifically speak to me. I want this church to be an oasis for the wanderer, for the lost, for the hurting, for the broken in our city. A place of healing, refreshing, hope, and renewal for the city of Boise. I want this church to be a church that reaches the entrepreneurs, the pioneers, the dreamers, those gifted with grit, but questioning the purpose and direction for their lives. Those who have been wandering through life, trying to just find their own way, will come to know that Jesus is the way and the truth and the life as they encounter God in our weekend services and find community in small groups and begin to take steps as they go to belong. And so as we sat and just began to pray, God confirmed with a resounding yes to both my wife and I that we were called to come and start a church.